Alright, so I just count you down.
Yeah, you can just go ahead and count down.
Alrighty,
And start.
Going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Alrighty, so this is Burning Rangers for the Sega Saturn. It was a very late release. Came out like in 1998, which was near the end of the Saturn's lifespan in the U.S. In Japan, it ran for like a couple more years, but it was like about when Sega was transitioning to the Dreamcast. It's made by Sonic Team, who's famous for Sega or for like Sonic the Hedgehog, Billy Hatcher, Nights and Dreams, and that kind of thing. Basically, you're a futuristic firefighter, put out fires, save people, and figure out what's going on, because there's something weird going on in this game. But we're not going to do much of either of those things. We're only save people we absolutely have to, and we only put fires out if we absolutely have to, because fires give crystals, and like Sonic games, crystals act like rings. As long as you have one, you're good. Movement is really good in this game. It uses a peripheral called the Saturn 3D pad, which allows for analog movement. And basically we're going to do like sort of, if you're familiar with Mega Man games, the movement's like that, where we're going to press a direction and the jump button at the same time, and that'll allow us to do a dash. And most of our movement is going to be using these dashes. We also have 3 different kinds of jumps. We got our regular jump, we got a quick double jump, which gives us a lot of height. And then there's also a third type of jump where if you space out the jump actions, you can get more control in your horizontal movement.
There should be an emergency override switch nearby. Try looking for it. There should be a switch near you.
So basically, this is just the first stage, give you an idea of all the things that are going on and how the rest of the game is going to perform. This is honestly like only like one of 2 stages where we're heavy switch pushing. Like another stage has it as well, but that's just not as big.
There is an elevator door straight ahead.
So we also have 2 types of attacks. We have a regular shot, which which is basically just used for putting out fires, and then we have a charge shot, which can also put out more difficult fires more quickly, but you don't get any crystals from it.
Turn to the right.
And then, but we also use the charge shot for damaging bosses, and there will be quite a bit of boss fighting.
The inner shutter opened. Let's go in.
So here we're just going through this place that's on fire, falling apart, and turns out there's something going on. Like the doctor locks himself in. And we're here just to rescue people, but we save this guy because he's mandatory, and if basically the way the game is set up, mandatory rescues always have crystals in front of them because it costs crystals to rescue people. At minimum 5 to rescue, and it takes up to 10 for whatever reason. So there's not a whole lot going on in this section. We're just going to go into another area, and it's going to be dark again. We have to find the switch to turn on the light. If it's like your first time going through this game, it can be kind of hard to get around, but luckily there is voice navigation. Also, the frame rate is really bad in this game, because the Saturn wasn't really designed for 3D, but it could do it. And it could do it well. This game was basically made sort of as a tech demo. The Saturn was considered not able to do true 3D transparencies, but because technically it can't natively, or at least not do it properly. And basically, Sonic Team wrote an engine that they used for Nights and Dreams, and they tweaked it for this game to be able to do alpha blending / transparencies in 3D and do it properly. So we'll see that in the second stage, more of that. Like you can see like transparencies here with the sprites, but that's like something the Saturn can already do. But 3D transparencies is where it normally struggled, because it would just do dithering to simulate transparency on older TVs.
It's moving into the plant site. Tillis, it's entered sector.
So every time you see me like drop my chain of dashes, it's just basically just inputs getting dropped from the lag.
Make sure you focus on the
because the window is fairly generous, but sometimes your inputs just get dropped from the lagginess of the game. So now we're gonna find the doctor. Turns out that they were doing some sort of research with some sort of plant, and is now wreaking havoc on this place. It's basically taking over the building and the computers somehow. And now we gotta go destroy it to save the facility.
Hurry,
Because this is like the future, like 2500 or something crazy that far in the future. If you recognize any of the voice actors, they've appeared in other Sega titles. There's like the original voice of Knuckles appears in this game. Oh crap. So I was just a little bit short. So when you get hit, you lose all your crystals, but you can get them back. It's fairly generous about that. And then if you press the navigation button, you can draw them in slightly quicker for whatever reason. Like, I only found out about it because someone told me to read the manual about it. Okay, there we go. So we're skipping all this platforming. There we go. And basically you're supposed to normally like run around, like do a bunch of platforming around the place to get over it. Crap. Okay. So this boss fight is very laggy. And this is probably the only one that's laggy in the game. Okay, there we go. So basically we just have to hit his, the head of the bulb of that plant. Okay, phew, I have one crystal. There we go. So first boss is down. Kill them with our firefighting gun.
Whoa, the heat has got to me. Look at me sweating like a pony. You know what I need right now? A hot shower.
Well done, Rangers. Let's leave.
And then after each mission, there's an anime cutscene, but for the sake of speed, we have to skip it, sadly, because they're halfway decent. And they just basically say they help connect one mission to another. So now we're gonna go to an underwater research facility. Basically, there's been perceived as an earthquake has happened and the facility is sinking. And it turns out there's a lot of people that need to be rescued. And this is the longest mission in the game. There's a significant amount of cutscenes, and it's just fairly lengthy in general.
About 30 people are still trapped inside.
Like, compared to the rest of the game, at least.
Got it? Roger. Show, Tillis,
And then,
head for the director's office. You might find the cause of the
there we
fire
go.
in that sector. Roger.
And the rubble can sometimes get in the way.
I'm entering the water channel.
Okay.
And so underwater movement's interesting. Basically, if you alternate between jump and attack, you can get a significant amount of speed.
Not over yet.
Ah. Okay, that's scary. So for whatever reason, when you get to near a door in this stage, it just resets the room. I'm guessing because it's unloading it or something.
Turn left.
So now we're going to go in this room here, go through this vent to access a switch we need to hit to open another door. And then this just allows to progress. And so you'll see green fire, you can just ignore it. Basically, it requires more hits to kill, and it also likes throwing fire at you.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
There we go.
Chris, this victim
So
is
lower
injured.
down a little bit.
Transport complete. Show, don't worry.
So now we have Echo the Dolphin here. That's
Oh.
not its actual name, it's what I call it, because
Don't worry. I'll help
Echo the
you.
Dolphin was
Looks
also
like the water
fairly famous on
circulation system
Sega
stopped.
consoles.
There must be a control room
Ah,
in this
got stuck
area.
on the wall. And this dolphin is pretty significant to this stage.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, that is bad.
The control room is right above you.
When's S rank? When you
Circulation
route S
system
rank, I'll run
reactivated.
it.
A shutter has been unlocked. Get going.
Sounds like a deal. Oh
You must
man,
hurry.
I'm scared now.
This is big. I
Okay,
found
so I get a
15
little
people
caught here.
and no one seems to
And
be
now we're
hurt.
coming to the very first checkpoint of the stage.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
There we go. So if you die anywhere between this checkpoint and the beginning of the stage, you start all the way from the beginning, cutscenes and everything.
Chris, I think the dolphin.
Tillis, the director's office is
It's
on
all right.
that floor.
Now we're back
We have
here.
no available data on the layout. You must find the director's
And you
office
gotta make our
on your own.
navigator way through this maze here. Ooh.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, before I go in that room... Ah, dang it. Okay, so I got a little carried away there. And I'm running on an upscaler, and this game has a weird thing where it switches to 480i for the menus, and since we're going to a continue menu, it decides to render it in 480i, and my upscaler has a small delay in transitioning back into the game. There we go.
Dolphin.
Tillis, the director's office is on that floor. We have no available data on the layout. You must find the director's office on your own.
Roger.
Listen,
Watch out!
I'm okay. I'm okay.
There we go.
What happened?
Whoa,
It's not
never
over
get
yet.
explosions there.
Ow!
So I have to kill this little robot here. You can only use charge attacks. Damage it. Let's get
This
some
is Reed.
crystals.
I found a kid. This doesn't look good.
So like I said, as long as I have one, I'm
seriously doubt
fine.
she's part of the maintenance crew.
Not too worried.
Obviously, something's not right.
I'm checking out the current
So now we're going to get a
situation
little lengthy cutscene here, and that's a little bit of exposition of what's going on. Basically, this is the director of the facility. He thinks an earthquake caused the fire, but turns out there wasn't actually any earthquake.
I'll send you out. You can
So
ask
we're
the
actually going to get an item from him that you can only get from this cutscene. It's basically the key card to the facility.
Ready to transport.
And if you could get it without doing this cutscene, it'd be great, but considering it doesn't appear until this cutscene, you gotta deal with it.
Is anybody there? We have about 200 visitors trapped inside here. We need help.
While the end of this cutscene plays out,
That's not what our
got a
report
couple
said.
donations to read off.
Go for it.
Tillis, head to the monitor room.
Fast at CC donated $10, and he said, every game needs a good antagonist. So put this towards the rival's name in Pokemon Red being Brett. Do not fail me. What a hilarious guy.
need to find
And
an ID card.
Zoda donated $5. He says, name the
Hurry up,
Nidoran
lives are at
Chelny,
stake.
because he is awesome and he can
This is
beat
Reed.
any obstacle
I'm
thrown
entering
at
the
him.
water channel.
Thank you for your donations, guys.
Roger.
The water currents are too strong. Can we make any headway?
we have to. This is the shortest way. Let's go.
Alright, so there's another robot here, but we can ignore it. There's only one more
Tillis,
robot in
there's
the
a
stage we have
large
to
energy
absolutely
beam in your
kill.
area. Watch yourself.
And it's like the last one in the stage, and he is awful to kill.
Man, there's
So
fire.
now we get another lengthy cutscene
Okay,
here
here I
where
am.
we get a dramatic moment with Tillis, who's like, hey, we gotta save those children, and I'm not gonna leave anybody
Director said there
behind.
was a special event today, and that more than 200 children were invited. Reed and Big are already there for the rescue.
I'm going there to help too.
You must evacuate. It's too far from your location. We don't have enough time.
Chris, the dolphin was saying something about a monster. This may be the key to saving everyone. I'm gonna find out what he's talking about.
Monster. Tillis, what are you talking
And it turns
about?
out
Chris,
Tillis
we're
can
not
talk
gonna
with
save them all if I don't do anything.
communicate with
I don't
dolphins.
want to see another child suffer like I had to.
And
I'm
apparently
going
there's a
to save
monster
their future.
that we're going to be fighting at
I'm
the
not gonna
end
give
of this
up.
level that the dolphin is worried about. So, we gotta hit this switch here, because it's really easy to miss that switch, but you have to absolutely hit it in order to continue on.
Tillis, count me in. We can do it.
Thanks.
And
Let's
there's
go.
actually been many times casually I've missed that switch.
Big, cover this area. I'll
So
check
there's
the next
a person in there to rescue, but we can safely ignore them.
Chris, the water
Because every time you
level
rescue
is rising fast.
someone, there's like a
I'll
short
move up to
cutscene
the
that
upper
plays, a little bit of
floors.
dialogue for like thanking you and all that stuff.
The wall is collapsing. It's hurt.
It's okay.
Okay,
you
there we
two.
go. Get some water. So
So
now we're gonna enter an underwater segment. Dolphin's gonna
Oh,
guide us
there
to
you
where to
are.
go.
Can you help me out? Can you take
And
me
basically
to
we're
the
just gonna be
bottom
going
of
through
this
like a
building?
bunch of like one-way paths
Wow,
that like
this
push
is
you through
great.
like jet streams and stuff.
Thank you. I'll take care of the rest.
So now we're completely somewhere else in the
Tillis.
facility, don't
I'm
know
not
where,
going back.
but it's where we need to go.
Data analysis indicates an existence of a huge energy reading at the bottom. Maybe this is what you were talking about.
Chris,
Tillis, I believe you.
So now it's just getting real laggy here.
How's Tillis doing?
Here we go.
show!
Tillis, follow me.
Yeah, right. Eat
All the
my
fancy
dust.
special effects in this game.
I moved the survivors
Just really
to safer
slow
ground.
things down.
Restarting the transporting process now.
Got it. Hang in there.
Tillis, don't rush. We're
Another
okay.
robot, and safely
Proceed.
ignore it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. If you see that bar at the top, the
Jump into the
more
water.
red it gets, the more likely there's going to be a quote-unquote incident. Basically, when it comes completely red, you'll just be bombarded with explosions until it goes away. And to prevent the bar from going
I won't
red,
be able to provide accurate navigation
you
data
basically
while
just
you're
put
in the
out
water, so
fires,
be
and it
careful.
prevents that from happening. But since we
Tillis,
want to go fast, putting
readings
out
run the
fires
connecting joint
is
sector
not going to
9.
happen. But that just means we have to
Boy,
deal
what are you
with
doing here?
Tillis,
random incidents
what
that
is he
that
saying?
occur.
He says there's a monster. he
Luckily, this is
found.
the only
He
stage
says
that
it's
it's
been
really a
the cause of
problem.
this
The
mess.
first stage
Can you
and the
take me
next
there?
stage, it's not really an issue. And then the stages after that, I don't believe that the meter takes effect anymore.
Tillis, don't lose him.
I'm
Alrighty,
ready.
Oop, overshot that. So we want to go up here.
Chief, what exactly is under
Yes,
the line?
Tillis does speak
An old
Dolphin.
transmitting device was
For
found
whatever
in the
reason,
lab.
she can speak and understand Dolphin.
Caused the earthquake.
Like she doesn't even know why. No, that's Japanese.
Tillis, I
Same
don't have
thing.
the full data of the area you're in now. You must find
So
a
now
way
I've got to
out.
go down here.
Your
Oop.
shield's breaking up.
Want to go to where the
Tillis,
fire
hurry up,
is.
but don't panic. Stay calm.
And this
Tillis,
there's like a
there's
door
not
that
much
normally
time
appears,
left.
that sometimes appears here, and it's like sometimes it's half opened
Watch
or
out.
completely closed. Okay, I get some crystals,
Jump into the water.
get some water. All right, we're near the end of the stage. There's going to be a room with 3 robots. We only have to kill the one in the far back, but sometimes that can be pretty challenging
Okay.
because the auto targeting in this
Now
game
how am I
is
gonna
not
deal with the
friendly,
monster?
and
Tillis,
this
there are
room
a
is just
number of
bad.
energy readings around you. Careful.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Hate this room. I don't know if it is honestly, because sometimes I'll go through
I'm
fast
okay,
and
I'm
it'll
okay.
be like that anyways. Okay, killed the robot.
Hurry up. Lives are at stake.
I used to be fairly good at that room, but I've been struggling with that lately, and I'm not sure why. But that's fine. We made it through just peachy. And now we're getting into the boss of this stage.
Tillis, the
And it's
energy
going to be a
reading
giant
inside of
fish
you.
that goes around in a circle and shoots
Stupid
bombs and
radio.
missiles at you. But he's
you're
pretty
the
easy to take
problem
down,
child.
as long as we stay on these platforms, but he does knock them down over time. Let's go over here. So sometimes auto-firing can be finicky. It doesn't really like tell you what his invincibility frames are. No, get out of the water. There we go. And then sometimes jumping can be finicky too. Oh. There we go, one more hit. There we go. So now the boss is dead, a crystal is going to appear, and it becomes the central point of the story for the rest of the game. Basically, the crystal is the crystal thing is the cause of all these problems that are going on.
Did Tillis make it?
Now we're going to get a nice little cutscene here. It's going to be about like 30-40
She did it. She
seconds, so if we have any
destroyed the joint.
donations.
Everyone's safe.
Tillis.
In fact, we do. We have another hilarious donation. Tricodin donated $5, and he says, "Every game needs a good antagonist, but put this towards a mediocre rival in Pokemon Red named Brett. Do not fail me."
Poor Brett.
Chris, where's Tillis?
I'm getting beat up
What
in
happened
here.
to her?
Maybe if you ran some Game Gear
Don't
Mega
worry.
Man.
She's okay.
There she is.
This is great. Chris, It's okay if I ride on his back for a while, right? Please?
Okay, but only if I can get to ride first.
So now we're gonna get to my favorite stage in the game. Basically, we're gonna be on a space station now because apparently there was a signal sent to the underwater facility that originated from the space station, and there are a lot of similarities in this story to Sonic Adventure 2. So basically, we're gonna go into a space station, and it turns out that there's an entity on the space station that is going to hurtle the entire space station to Earth.
What's the point of waiting?
And if you're familiar with Sonic Adventure 2, a similar thing happens.
Reed and Tillis, I want you two to enter from the main dock. Big and Show, enter from the starboard port.
So we're going to go over here,
Looks
and
like
we're going to
that
hit this,
elevator will only ascend.
and ascend up. And you can do a little bit like of a super jump off the ascending of the elevator, because when you jump up, you can do another jump and get a
You
lot
should
of
be
extra
able to
height
see a
out of
switch
it.
on the other side.
And it's actually really convenient. So now we're just going back to the start of the stage here. Go drop down. Oop, didn't drop down far enough.
Enter the door.
And now this doorway's open.
This is big. I'm
So now we're
only
gonna hit a couple more
observation.
switches.
I
We gotta
can
hit
see the
one up
outside
here.
through the airport. Nobody's around though.
Roger. Better get down. That section may be unstable, so it can be dangerous.
And then this
to
opens the
get
door
there.
we have to go back
That,
to.
the shutter
Instead
should
of
open.
going
There should be a switch
right,
on
we're gonna go
top.
left
Try
though.
climbing up to reach it.
And there's gonna be like a little explosion thing here. There's like you can get out a little bit faster if you take damage from it instead of what I just did. But I don't feel comfortable
A door has
doing
been
that method.
activated. Come back.
But it's just like it's like one of those minor time saves
There's only
things.
one escape pod left.
Show, what happened?
Ooh, banged my head.
Nothing. I will continue to investigate.
And then the
It's changed
camera
quite a
wigged
bit.
out on me.
Proceed.
Hey! I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, why can't I get not teleporter? Okay, there we go. Like I said, sometimes this game can be a little finicky.
Okay, go straight.
Like that. Like, fire pushes you up for some reason, and so sometimes you can get caught in doorways.
What? You think you can just come
If there's
in
one
here and
thing
tell
you
us
learn
what
about
to do?
Sonic Team, they have
Can't
yet to
stop
figure
this
out a
from
proper
happening just
camera.
because a small meteorite hit the colony.
Just a meteorite.
Like,
Till
example,
this
20
one.
years ago,
Go rescue the
they could
boy.
not figure out a proper camera, and to this day, they still have trouble figuring it out. But I mean, I imagine, especially for this time, when 3D was still kind of new, making cameras tough. So now we're gonna do a little minor skip here. So there's this giant robot that's in the way, and it turns out you can just go right past him. What we used to do is just kill it. Whoa.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, so we're gonna jump up here.
I need to collect crystals
Oh,
first.
thank goodness. So normally I fly over that guy, but I accidentally flew a little bit low, and luckily I didn't have any
Watch out.
crystals.
It's not over yet.
Ah, come on. I was like mashing the button for that switch. So this is terrible. Like everything that could go wrong is going wrong. But luckily we have plenty of continues. Let's see, where does it start me off? Okay.
Ow! I'm okay. I'm okay.
I just heard from Vic that
Okay,
there
so I'm
are a total of
gonna
5
do
crew
that.
members. Hurry.
There we go. Can't believe you never tried that. I mean, I never would have thought to try it either, but I just like randomly got hit. Ooh. So landing on the switch is bad. So I just randomly got hit and passed through, and I'm like, oh, well, duh.
Tillis, that area has already been secured. Go in through gate B03.
Roger.
You get 5 doubles. Oh man, I'll be salty if that happens.
Watch out!
It's not over yet.
Okay, get some crystals.
You've got to listen to us.
There we go. Okay, the worst part of the stage is over. That's smooth sailing from here. There's one escort section we have to do, but it's pretty easy.
This is Reed. Found 5 crew members. I will transport them one at a time.
Roger. Great work.
So what Maple means by the five by doubles on the basically on the final boss, you can only hit it during certain times, but during those vulnerable times you can hit it multiple times if you time it properly. Where the heck did I get blown to? Okay, that was weird. Like, it just completely turned me around.
One of the 3 doors
And
is
you can
open
get up to
now.
3 hits per like chance to attack. But it's pretty tough to time just right, and your auto targeting has to cooperate as well.
The dock will be scorched in a short while. The burning ship will break away, and we will be waiting at a
So now we gotta hit another switch that's like all the way off to the side here,
Be careful.
and landing on the switches today. So now we're gonna get a heartfelt cutscene coming up, or no, not yet, but soon. But first, we're gonna meet a little boy.
I found the boy.
I forget his name,
He'll be okay.
and we gotta rescue him because for whatever reason he's on this on the space station that's only supposed to have workers on it.
Right? You're really a burning ranger.
And he's so excited to see us.
Yes, and I'll give you an autograph later. Chris, I'll transport him. Set coordinates.
Negative. The magnetic storm is jamming our systems. We can't transport.
So if we have any donations,
Find the escape pod. There should
No
be one
donations,
nearby.
but just a reminder to get
let's
your
go.
donations in. Where this marathon is to get Prissy and Cassio, some foreign runners, to the United States,
Hi, you're
to AGDQ 2018. So get your donations in.
Our transmissions ready.
alright. So this section we don't get our double jump or our boost. So and if we get hit once, we have to restart the section. But luckily, it's pretty easy to get through. And standing on the switch doesn't activate it because
You're going to get in, of course.
they just didn't make it that way. My guess is that you have to be on the same level as the ground it's on.
Be brave. He's waiting for you to come back. You don't want him to worry any more than he has to, right? Tillis, you have to promise me you'll come back.
10-second animation, jeez.
I promise. I'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting till you come back. What have I gotten myself into?
Interesting,
I can't
okay.
break my promise with him.
So if you noticed, when we sent that guy off, we actually cut off his hand from the thingy. There's the pod closing. So that kid's gonna be without a hand from now on. So now we're gonna enter the easiest boss of the game, but your auto targeting can really troll you on it.
Who's there?
The defense systems have been activated. Hurry, get out of here.
Like this boss, you can just continuously hit over and over. Like all you do is break its armor. Whoa.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
And hit its core. But sometimes auto targeting decides to target the wrong stuff.
It's not over yet.
No, I cannot believe that, Maple. I find that hard to believe. Very easy fight. Did take some damage, but that's fine. So that crystal that we saw at the end of last stage makes another appearance. Get more of it. But now we're stranded on the space station, and we've lost contact with all their comrades. But now we have a mystery voice talking to us, which turns out to be this girl. I can't remember her name,
Chris, come in. I lost her. What's going on out there? I need to get out of here.
but she helps you
Watch
find
out!
your way out.
There's
And it turns out everything that's going on is directly because of her, but not her fault
Run
technically.
away. Quick.
Okay, so there's like a jump you can do here.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
And just allows us to skip heading a switch and having to do a little platforming to get up here.
Straight.
And also there's a boss here, but we can skip it because like the exit's right there. It's just more of like a mini boss more than anything. So now we're back underwater for the final time. And just basically it becomes like a little maze here. But luckily it's pretty easy to navigate once you've done it a few times.
Go up.
And now we're in a different part, more underwater. everything's kind of shaky. Because, like, that's some, like, underwater effects. It's kind of nifty. But it's kind of, like, strangely quiet.
Go
More
straight.
underwater. Whoa, got stuck. So now we're gonna dodge some rocks. And then get to a very frustrating platforming section, because platforming in this game is not very good. Like, it's kind of, like, weird how... I don't know, the movement in this game is really good, but platforming isn't. It's kind of strange like that.
Go up.
So we're just basically skipping most of this platforming by doing some really cool jumps. So we're gonna jump over here, and then jump all the way over here, and then we're basically already at the top, skipping a bunch of platforming that gets done. And now we get a boss here that can be very trolly. Sometimes just like completely knocks your platforms off to the side, like completely over, and you can't do anything. So you see, I'm doing a lot of jumping. Basically, your charge meter charges faster when you're jumping. By the way, you can still die before that boss goes down. Like when that health drops, you can still die. So now we're hitting an auto-scroller section, but it's pretty cool. The music's really high. Get a nice little intro. You don't want to die here, because if you die here, you have to hear this dialogue all over again. And I have died here in a run, and it's not fun.
Tillis, are you alright? I'm okay. Listen, I got some
But it's
info
very
about
unlikely to
this
die. It's hard to
spaceship.
die.
I heard it.
And the goal to get, like, while this is an auto-scroller, you can speed it up. There are, like, boosters along the way, and the more you hit, the less obstacles you run into, the more speed you carry.
On your mark.
Confirmed.
Destination, ship central core, full blast.
Yeah, I guess it's similar to something from F-Zero. So we get, like, some lasers, and that's about it. We can move in different directions. So we want to hit these boosters as much as possible, avoid hitting obstacles. Gotta go fast. And it even gives you a nice little time at the end to tell you how well you've been doing. Ooh, dang. And one day my goal is to memorize where all the boosters are to get through this section as fast as possible. Yeah, this is one hype song. Yeah, if we have any donations or anything.
No donations, just listening to this hype song right here.
Alrighty. Yeah, it's like a nice, like, little change of pace from the normal gameplay. Yeah, 105's not bad. I actually got like a 104 the other day, and I was surprised
Entering the
about
ship's
that.
central area. Big Antilles.
But
U-turn
honestly, I don't know how
corridor to the
fast
right.
it can go.
Showing
Probably
me.
like close to
Use
1
the
minute,
left one to reach the core.
maybe even below a minute.
Go back outside and wait for us there.
Okay. Good luck to you all.
Like if you could hit
Same
all
as
the
always.
boosts and not
We can
hit,
do it.
not slow down at all, I'm sure you can get
Okay,
under a
everyone,
minute.
let's do it. Roger.
But like there's actually some hidden boosts. Like there's some debris that are hiding little boosters. And I was surprised to find that out because I never thought to look. So now we're in the final stage of the game, and we're gonna just basically skip the entirety of it. There's a nice little skip that we're gonna do
Let's go.
that allows us just to skip everything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump over here, but we don't want to go too far forward because otherwise we'll trigger some dialogue with Big, and we don't want that. And we're gonna do a nice jump up here. We'll grab the ledge, and all of a sudden we're at the end of the game. And actually, by doing this, allows us to skip a cutscene that happens after this door here, which I actually saw for the first time like a couple weeks ago because I died to this boss. Is if you die to this boss, it resets the room and properly does it. Okay. There we go. So you can only attack it when its eyes open. There we go. Normally I have a timing on this, but for some reason my auto target's not cooperating. So like there's a cutscene here that like reveals that girl that we've been hearing the voice of, and suddenly there's Big.
The other 3 Rangers are back on the ship now.
Now the only thing I need to do is save the world.
Whoops. Okay.
You've got one thing. You need to make
There
it
we
back
go.
alive.
Ah, that's strange. Normally it grabs the ledge. So sometimes platforming can be mean. So now we're going to the final boss. It's basically a 2-phase fight. Phase 1, super easy, but it can be a little trolly. So basically, we're just going to be fighting this giant orb with a defense system. And that's basically the cause of everything that's wrong in this game. In this game's universe, rather.
Ow! I'm okay. I'm okay.
Ooh, almost killed it before it had a chance to put up the shields. There we go. So now it's going to turn into its final form, and it kind of reminds me of Dark Falls from Phantasy Star Online, the first game. And, you know, same artist, too, so there's a lot of similarities. So basically, we can only attack this boss when its wings are glowing that rainbow color. And on the first hit, you get a free hit. No doubles. So now, after each of the first phases, we have to destroy those icons. Okay, now it's going to do a tornado. Hate the tornado.
I'm okay.
Oh man, that is some wild audio glitching. Like, this game does not like this fight. So, no double hits so far. It's like sometimes you can just get lucky with auto-targeting. Basically. And one more hit to go. So basically if you kill it normally, it'll finish on fire. And time.
GG.
GG. Didn't go as smoothly as I would have liked, but it was still... at least the second half was really good.
Reed, prepare for transport now.
But thanks for having me, and I hope that we can raise the money to get Creasy and Cassio to AGDQ. That'll be really awesome. GG, George.
Yeah, we're well on our way there.